Hello, everyone. Welcome to another stage event. Today I'm with Viev, and we were going to talk about Viev's journey, streaming journey, and also talk about some other interesting things as Viev also works in the gaming industry as an influencer marketer. Viev, if you could
hmm
introduce yourself.
Yeah. So hi, I'm Viev. I've been streaming for 4 years now. I got to be a Twitch partner a year ago, and I indeed stream part time and also part time work for a game publisher. So that's really nice, and yeah, that also really combines these best of two worlds. Um, definitely love to work in gaming, both on the side of getting people games to play and hear about games as playing the games myself and building a community. So yeah, that's a
Awesome.
long introduction, but hi.
No, it's fine. Cool, cool. And so, how did your streaming journey start? And how long
yeah,
have you
that's a
been
funny
streaming?
Yeah, that's a funny story because I never intended to become a streamer at all. It
Uh-huh.
was 4 years ago. I just had my stream anniversary this February.
Congrats,
4 years ago, I
congrats.
started a master, and my master's was in English. And I noticed that in class, I felt a little bit awkward to raise my hand and ask a question because I didn't feel comfortable with talking English. And a friend of mine said, "Oh, but you're entertaining. Why don't you just, stream and practice talking the whole day in English?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Because I thought I'm gonna talk to an empty room the whole day and nobody will look at that. It would just be practice. So I started playing games like Bloodborne and Monster Hunter World on my PlayStation and streamed with my headset and my through the PlayStation network. So I didn't start with a PC and stream OBS and whatever. And I just started talking to nobody in particular. And then I was very lucky that people found my stream and thought, "Hey, this is a nice voice of a lady that is constantly talking about the games that she's playing." And later I ordered one of those really bad PlayStation cameras that are not the best quality, but they do show something. And then my stream yeah, I went really fast to the point where you have like 4 or 5 average viewers.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and then I just yeah, I can talk about this for like an hour straight because it went from that little start where I was just talking in my room and playing games to practice English to getting a PC, getting all my upgrades and continuing to grow as a streamer but also as a community. So, yeah,
Wow.
it was quite the journey, but it all started with me wanting to practice English.
That's so cool. Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. So small, humble beginnings and then slowly growing over time. Um, and
Yeah.
and I've said it in the last event, but it is still funny to me that you're our third guest and the third guest to say that they didn't expect to become a streamer, like it wasn't the intention, and then somehow you just ended up being streaming on Twitch. So that's so fun how this happens.
Yeah. But that's also the when starting streamers ask me what the most important tip is for starting streaming, it's always have fun. Um, because if you don't like being there or have a reason to sit there, why would others? And
Hmm.
for me, it was like I wanted to practice my English. I liked playing the games, and I just had fun. And yeah, that was a great starting point, especially because the first few years of streaming, you don't make any money. You only spend a lot of it.
Hmm.
So if you don't think it's fun, it's going to be quite a hard time.
That's
Yeah.
true. And as far as content creation goes, you are more focused on Twitch over YouTube. Or how is that for you, that relationship between Twitch and YouTube and content creation in general?
I started streaming without any knowledge about of what streaming was.
Uh-huh.
As I said, it was all one big accident, and the first platform that got thrown at me was Twitch, so that's why I'm a Twitch streamer.
Mhm.
And over the years, I know a lot of people are switching to YouTube or other platforms. People have been switching to Mixer. Mixer, of course, is gone. We have Facebook gaming and everything. And
Mhm.
I just really like Twitch because they have the stream culture. It is so normal to lurk in a channel and don't say anything and just, watch the streams or interact. They have all these lovely things with community emotes and the whole everything around it. I enjoy. I am also working on a YouTube exclusive series of like really nice casual games. For example, Strange Horticulture.
Mhm.
I've been playing without a Twitch chat because I don't want the interruption of alerts and chat and everything.
Mhm.
And now I started with another indie game, E-Shade. So I am also focusing on YouTube. I'm also uploading content on TikTok, but I love Twitch as the platform where I live stream because it just has the whole, people know what they come for. They know Twitch is live content, and YouTube, some people will be, looking for content that's already created that they can just watch a video and all of that. And I noticed that, for example, TikTok is way more personal, less gaming, and way more fast
Mhm.
content. And with Twitch, I have people that watch my stream for 8 hours straight.
Mhm.
I have people that I have a big community of people that just lurk while they are working, and they
Mhm.
just like me as a background noise, and I like being that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
Twitch just works for me.
Nice, nice. And so you started small, but now you're close to about 20K followers on Twitch, I think now, which is very nice and impressive. And I wanted to ask, what was a major milestone for you in streaming? Out of
Right.
everything, it doesn't even have to be just number related.
My biggest milestone was actually, I think, when I got 1,000 followers, because at that moment it all started, like extra started, because 100, that is when you got affiliate, and then
Mm-hmm.
it just went bigger, bigger, bigger. And when I saw 1,000 people followed me, I was like, wow, this is getting serious. And
Mm-hmm.
of course that number keeps growing, but like at 1,000 it felt so big that it was serious. But actually, my biggest accomplishment and what I'm most proud for is my community. I managed to make a community where we talk a lot about mental health issues,
Mm-hmm.
and where there's a good vibe and we're open. We talk with each other. We have a lot of room for each other's stories, and I think that's really important because, especially on the internet, people can be very mean. And I love that in my community, it's all about support and about finding ways to be nice for each other, and to talk about that you're not alone if you don't feel okay for a day or a week. And I think that's really, really important. And I've also noticed that a lot of people love my community because they feel less alone in their depression, because we just sometimes talk about it, and also not always. And I think that's the thing I'm most proud of, that yeah, we managed to make this community that really is there for each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, no, just
Oh,
just I was thinking about examples of like great moments, and then
I mean, sure, sure.
yeah.
I was thinking about to foster that kind of community, uh, you have to put in the work and you have to be an example too, because you have to
Yeah.
reflect what you want your community to be. And
Yeah.
I was gonna segue also to like moderators and moderation on Twitch, which is important too to help keep a healthy community. But yeah, if you have examples, go for it.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about other things I'm proud of, and I
Hmm.
I I left a little bit the community and the mental health, which is perfect, but maybe not what you meant, because you were more of numbers. And I think the moment I was really proud of numbers was also when, um not that long ago, we had a subathon and we got 500 subs in a day.
Wow.
And those kind of moments also make me super proud, of me, myself,
Yeah.
what I accomplished, but also the community and like where we are and what the generosity of people. Oh, it's insane. That is also a great moment, of course, if you talk numbers, to have like these big moments with a lot of people, or when you get a big rate of a streamer and then you find out 2 weeks later that some of those people are still hanging around and you're like, wow, okay, I did
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
that
yeah.
people stayed for. So yeah,
That's awesome.
that is also things I can be really proud of.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it doesn't have to be just number related, just in general. So, but that is cool. Wow, that's amazing to have that impact of
Yeah.
so many subs and at one time, and you have that platform and community to be able to foster that, you know? That's really great. Great to hear. And when it comes to streaming, now that you've been doing it for a long time, can you tell us about some of the rituals you have pre-stream before you start a stream, and if there's anything that you
Yeah.
do after the stream?
My rituals pre-stream are I call them stress and chaos.
Uh-huh.
Uh, they actually made a joke about it that every time I turn on the stream, they look at what I forgot. Because I have an app that's like making my lights flash in colors when someone follows or donates money, or
Ooh.
those things that happen. I have like Christmas lights that I now call my streamer lights because I never took them away because I like the vibe of them, that I have to like hook on. I need to have a glass of water or whatever
Mm-hmm.
at my desk. I have like a few other apps that need to be right. There's a lot of things that I have to do. My cup of coffee, really important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but other than that, my most important thing before the stream is trying to not start early, because
Oh.
my viewers asked if I could have a schedule. So
Mm-hmm.
now I have a schedule, and we kind of made a deal. I will not start more than 30 minutes before I say that I'm starting. But I
Mm-hmm.
often get so overexcited, I start early anyway. So yeah.
I mean, if you say
Um,
you're gonna start at a certain time, then they know when
yeah,
to expect you. So it's like,
yeah,
hey, you started and I wasn't ready, you know?
yeah, and it's especially I sometimes do cosplays, and then
Ah.
people want to see the reveal, but then I'm done with my dressing up and everything, and I'm just waiting on my chair, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'm gonna start early. I'm ready, and they're like, I missed the reveal. So yeah,
Yeah, that makes
um,
sense.
that doesn't always work. And but after stream, I do a lot of things. Most of the times when I have a big hype stream, I need time to cool down. So I try to do things without screens. So first I look at some statistics. I often try to be a little bit interactive in the person we rated, especially if I rate smaller streamers. I'm just like guarding my community to be nice, because I know how overwhelming it can be to all of a sudden have like 50 to 100 extra people in your stream.
Mm, mhm,
Um, I also am really, really strict about that. If you say something rude to someone we rate, you can get a ban on my channel,
mhm,
which is just, I think, streamers should support each other. So that's the first thing I do after I stop streaming. I always have to press the button to stop streaming. Sometimes I'm watching a stream for like 20 minutes without me pressing that button. So
mhm.
then there's on the thought that I'm watching another stream.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then I just try to take time to leave the stream world. So I often read a book or something without screens, something completely different. And I try to let loose of like all the stories that I heard of the community and everything, and just try to make some time for myself before I go to bed. So that's often what
Gotcha.
I do after the stream to like, get out of the big hype
Mhm. Yeah,
and
yeah.
go into, yeah,
More
rest.
relaxed mode.
Mm-hmm.
Out of
Yeah.
curiosity, what time of day um do you stream? Because I know some people stream first thing in the morning, some in the evening, and then others like before bed, like it's the last thing they do
Yeah.
in the day. What
I
works for you?
used to be an evening streamer, so I would stream European evenings and have a lot more American viewers as well. But when Corona happened and people started to work at home, I went to my mom for a little bit, and also my neighbors are working from home now.
Mhm.
So I was like pushed into the day slot. So now I also work part time. So normally I start work at like 8, no, at like 8:39, and then I work for 4 or 5 hours, and then
Mhm.
I start my stream, and then I eat dinner, and sometimes I do an evening stream. But most of the times it will now be during the day. Uh, yeah.
Okay,
And in the
cool.
weekends, I always stream on Sunday as well, and sometimes on Saturday, depending on my mood
Mhm.
and how badly I need to be out of the house because I'm a little bit of a workaholic.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Sundays I try to take a little bit of the evening most of the times, but I also start during the day, so around like 11, 12.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, this one's this next question is funny. Um, can you tell me more about Ding Dong, Ping, and Teeny Tiny Bits?
Yeah. Well, this is very recent. The teeny tiny bit isn't, but I my community calls it Viev sounds. It's like
Uh-huh.
all the weird sounds I make during stream.
Mhm.
Um, and I think a year ago, someone sent me a sound bit of me saying bleep bloop bleep bloop 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 bloop. I'm a robot because I once said that while playing World of Warcraft, and I was a teeny tiny robot. So I just did that.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I said, "Oh, can you make this like a biddy alert?" So now it's like for 101 bits, you
Mhm.
get the bleep bloop sound, which is
Oh,
one of my most used sounds ever.
yeah.
Um, and then we started to integrate more of the Viev sounds into bit alerts. So we now have the teeny tiny bits, which is like me and my best friend singing a random song during stream. Someone clipped it, and now it's an alert. And last week or 2 weeks ago, we played this game, King of Retail. That is, by the way, from the publisher I work for, and you can also request a key on Lurkit. Uh,
Snap.
and every time a customer gets in the store says ding dong, and one of my viewers is like always working, and then he in the background he hears that ding dong sound, and every now and then he comes into chat and he just rage types ding dong. And I thought that was really funny, so I yelled ding dong, and then another viewer clipped that and sent it to
Oh,
me as an alert. So now that rage viewer is constantly throwing the ding dong back at me
that's so
by
funny.
using that video alert. So yeah, I try to do this with all my alerts, by the way, to have big moments, milestones, and fun moments of my stream also reappear in the stream.
Mhm.
For example, when someone subs, I do a little yay GIF animation. How do you say that?
Uh-huh.
And that was actually the day I got 500 followers, and we had a celebration stream, and I did my first 10-hour stream. And at the end of it, I did this GIF, and that's why it has a filter over it because I was dead tired. Um,
Uh-huh.
but now that has been my subscriber GIF for
Wow.
like that long already. And with certain other emotion alerts, you also have like a heart that I do. That's like I didn't create these gifts. They're not, I had an idea and I do it. They're
Mhm.
all parts and moments that my viewers clipped or cut out of the stream and
Mhm.
sent to me and said, do something with this. And then I put them in the alert box. And yeah, that's how we
Wow.
grow our
That's super
stream
cool.
around the
You
stream,
have
which is really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you have like a little piece of history too by
Yeah,
doing this,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
That's so fun. Cool, cool.
And a lot of annoying sounds.
No, they're really great. They're hilarious. Um,
Hmm.
that's awesome. All right, there's a lot of questions and time is like flying by. So, we can get to them. What did the road to affiliate look like? You said that's 100, what is
Yeah,
it,
back then it
followers?
was 100 followers and like 3 average viewers.
Uh-huh.
So that went for me pretty quick because I played Bloodborne and Monster Hunter, where at the time quite a lot of people looked at.
Mm-hmm.
So that was actually quite easy. The
Mm-hmm.
hard part was getting to Twitch partner.
Yeah.
Because I'm a variety streamer and I did all the things that people say don't do, like be a variety streamer, don't have a schedule, stream at random times.
Uh,
Um, And I did that anyway. So
Mhm.
I looked at my follower count once over all the time, and I've seen that like at least a third of other people ever following me unfollowed as well. And I get it, because one day I play World of Warcraft, and the next time I play this nice cute indie game, and next time I play Bloodborne, which is like considered a horror game. And
Uh-huh.
then I play on my PC, and then it's again PlayStation, and then I walk in the woods, or I'm going sailing, and I
Oh,
take the stream outside in real life. So
whoa.
I love it, but a big part of people rather watch one game, or a specific kind of type stream.
Mhm.
And I didn't. So I've been a long time around like 30, 40 average viewers,
Mhm.
which is quite a lot, because that's just a classroom filled with kids, or
Yeah,
adults
that's
in this
great.
case. Um, and then all of a sudden, Corona happened, and I streamed 7 days a week, and people were at home, and yeah, I made it.
The numbers kept going up, yeah?
Yeah, and I think the great thing about ignoring all the streamer advice
Uh-huh.
about play one game, don't do this, don't do that, is that the people that are now in my community are mostly here for the community. Some
Yeah.
people are here for the games. Some people are here for me. Some people are for other viewers of my community, but they're here because of the community and not because of one certain game. And I love that. I love that. I also have people that only watch my stream when I play World of Warcraft, for example, and
Oh.
that's also fine. I have quite a few people that only tune in when I play a Souls game. So with Elden Ring, now they're a lot back.
Mhm.
Um, so it's not that the whole community is there every stream. It's more like some people are there always, they're here for the community, and some people choose a game that they like. And when I play that game, they're often showing up, and that's really beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. So you wouldn't consider that a mistake then, the way you initially started streaming and your style, but what?
No, no, actually, I would
Mhm.
really recommend people to stay true to yourself. First of all, being Twitch partner is nice, but it shouldn't be the goal. It should be to make good content, and just grow organically, and by networking and making good content and having fun. Um, I've heard of a streamer that has streamed half the time I have, but she focused on one game only, and that's why she grew really fast. But she was really unhappy and started to hate the game she once loved. And I have seen many rage clips. For example, this Bloodborne streamer who got so annoyed that every time he played Bloodborne, he had like 1,000 viewers. And the moment that he played something else, his community left. And
Oh,
that
wow.
hurt him. And I saw him once rage about it on stream. And I was like, yeah, whatever I do, that was like 4 years ago. And I was like, whatever I do, I should always play what I feel like I should do. Um, and if you quickly want to grow on Twitch, you might be better off playing only one game. But the problem is, if you ever want to change that, the backlash will be so much more difficult. And if you
It's
just
true.
keep it variety and grow steady and just yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit slower. Yeah, my growth could have been much bigger if I would have chosen to only stream World of Warcraft, but my mental health would have probably been a lot worse.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that would be reflected in your content too, so that's important to make sure your mental health and what you're doing uh aligns with your beliefs and like you said, staying true to yourself, so that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So no,
Um,
I wouldn't consider it a mistake.
okay. But
Yeah.
what are some of the mistakes that you did when you first started out? For example, forgetting to press stop
All the way at
streaming.
the beginning, I was so happy when people would watch my stream that I found it difficult to remove people from my community.
Mm,
So I allowed a little bit of toxicity in my stream, and it would take over the stream.
mm-hmm.
And it took me a while to own it, to
Yeah.
own my stream. This is my place. I want this a safe and happy place. And I don't want toxic people. I don't want people to tell me that I'm a bad gamer. I don't want people to tell me um yeah, anything or demand things of me and
Mhm.
all those kind of things. And it took me a long time to start removing people also from the community, if they would make me really unhappy. And I
Mhm.
think that that is something, especially when you start streaming, it's really hard because if you only have like 5 viewers or 5 chatters or whatever, and someone is really hurting your feelings, but if you remove it, him or her, yeah, then you only have like 3 viewers, and
Mhm.
you do want to have people in your chat, but you also should protect yourself. In the first few months of my streaming, I had some people really objectifying me as a woman.
Mhm.
And now, like, that behavior will get you
Bye bye.
not even removed by me anymore, just my community.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. So that is really something. If someone comes into my chat and says, show boobs or whatever, it's not even me anymore who has to say something of it, because my community will, shoot a person away with, that's not how we do it here, because
Yeah.
we created now a culture where that's not appropriate. And
Mhm.
I think starting streamers are sometimes really afraid to set boundaries, because it's hard to get people out of your community while your goal is to get people in your community. But to have a good community where people want to be in, it should be a good community. And for that, you sometimes have to push people out that are toxic. So, yeah, that
Yeah.
was one of the mistakes that really, really I struggled with in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I can imagine that when someone comes in and they're saying not nice things, it's easy to fall into the trap of, okay, they're not saying nice things, but at least they're here, right?
Hmm.
But in the end,
Yeah.
it's not good for the health of your community, and it's better to remove that from your community early on rather than letting that be. So, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Um, we recently took a week-long vacation. How was that,
Yeah.
and how did that affect your streaming? That's something interesting I wanted to get into.
Oh, I hate taking vacation.
Workaholic.
Yeah, no, but yes and no. One, because I love working, but also because Twitch, and all of the algorithms online demand you to be there. I've heard scary stories of, if you aren't live for so long, you don't show up in the recommended section on the front page of certain people anymore. Um, and they have like smart alerts that notify when your favorite streamers go live, but they made them smart because if you follow 100 streamers, you don't get a alert for all of them, just the ones you watch regularly. And if you don't stream for 2 weeks, you might fall out of that algorithm and stuff like that. So it is always scary to not stream because I lose followers. After I took a 1 week vacation, but I got corona, got sick for like at least a week. And after that, my sub count was the lowest I have it seen in, I think, over a year. So you see a lot of these tweets on Twitter as well, where streamers, explain how difficult it is to take a break, because if you don't stream, you don't earn money, you lose followers, you lose subs, you lose a little bit of your community. And that makes it really hard and stressful to take breaks.
Hmm.
Um, but at the same time, part of that is also only in your head, because the moment you come back, for me at least, people are happy, and you didn't lose everyone.
Yeah.
I've never lost everyone, but yeah, I do see a drop in my subs, in my followers, and in my views. But that's also something that goes up again, hopefully.
Hmm. No, yeah, of
So yeah,
course.
yeah, breaks are difficult. They're really tough. It's funny because my community always says that I should take more me time, but at the same time, they also, tell me how much they miss me every time I have a 2-day weekend, for example. They say, "Oh, it's been so long,"
On
and
two
I
dates.
love that because I miss them too. But also, it shows how hard it is to take a break for longer than 2 days because, people are sending me messages like, "Are you all right?" But
Mm-hmm.
that's also the culture that I created by always being there. Yeah.
Yeah. And what are some other like dark parts about streaming? We can get into that because on the outside it may seem like streaming is like this easy thing. You just hit record and you just play games and everything's happy and fun and great. But there's some dark sides to it that I think are important to
Yeah.
address.
Yeah. There was a time where I dreamed of going full time. Um, but the fact that all of your income would rely on what people give you just didn't feel right for me at that point. So I'm very happy that I managed to get part-time jobs in places where you often get full-time jobs. So I'm happy to be able to combine it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's so much stress. There's so much stress. It's ridiculous. There's stress financially, of course, because I mean, it. I have bills to pay, and of course, I'm working part time, but it's part time, not full time. So
Mm-hmm.
part time streaming is my job. So that's hard. But most difficult for me is, I think, the view count. It's been recently that I just disabled it at all, and I cannot look at it. And I notice that I sometimes look at it again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, the stream count just shows that um, I've dropped since I got partner because you get partner by averaging 75 viewers for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there for a few months. And as soon as we reached that, it like dropped a bit. I think it's also because when people see you're close to partner, they want to help you. And there's like more people supporting to get you there. And they think once you're partner, you made it. But that's
Mm-hmm.
like the moment where it again starts.
Yeah,
And you want to keep your community. And it's nice that they help by always watching, but I still want you there,
of
you know?
course.
So that's definitely something that was really hard for me at first. Also, sometimes it's hard that when I love a game a lot, people tell me to play a different game, or I get comments on my looks or things that I say. And it's streaming, you just put yourself out there. It's you. It's, of course, you're entertaining. Of course, partially it's an act. When I'm super sad, I will smile and make good content. And sometimes I talk about it. But of course, you are in your entertainer chair, and that's not the same person I am, but it's
Mm-hmm.
really close to me. So when people give me feedback that's like personal, I take it really personal because it's about me.
Yeah.
And that makes it sometimes really difficult, especially because I've been bullied a lot as a child and I'm just really an insecure person to then put myself in such a vulnerable place where people will have an opinion about things that you do and say. And yeah, that makes it sometimes really hard, and that makes it sometimes a dark place. That people see a version of you that they believe is the truth,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, people don't always ask more. I have had people that think I'm no, not think. They just find it necessary to say that the chat is silent, or
Mm-hmm.
people that say I am stupid for some reason, or people that's think I am a dumb person, or people to tell me that I should get a real job, and they don't understand that these kind of comments do hurt, and that
Yeah.
you're talking to a person. I'm also a person,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes streaming sometimes hard. That there's some people who think, yeah, but you put yourself out there, so of course people are gonna talk about you. And I'm like, no, no, I'm a person.
Yeah.
You can put yourself out there, but that doesn't give people the permission to just say things that
Mm-hmm.
dehumanize and dehumanize you. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, totally understand, and I'm sure a lot of other streamers can relate to that. I mean, streaming is like one of the most vulnerable things. Like you said, it's a version of you. It's not exactly 100% one-to-one of who you are, but still, it is, like you said, very close to it. So some of those things can really affect someone. Even if you
Yeah.
don't want it to affect you. I mean, you see, oh, you're dumb. And then it's like, okay, you know that that's not true and that that person doesn't know what they're talking about or they're trolling, but still, that will wear
Yeah,
away at you. Mm-hmm.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
in the beginning, I always had the idea that I should defend myself.
mm,
So when people would call me dumb, I would, explain to them that I have a master's degree and what my research was on and what my work was and everything. And now I'm like, no, why would I have to explain myself?
yeah.
Like, if they want to believe I'm dumb, fine. Plus, also having a master's degree definitely doesn't mean necessarily that you're dumb or that you need one to not be dumb. So it's a bullshit argument to begin with.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, why would
but
you
yeah, and the
validate
same with,
them by addressing
yeah,
them? It's like you're not even
yeah,
worth addressing. Mods take care of it, or you yourself
exactly.
remove them from the community. And
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
and the same always with the girl gamers. It's still
Mm.
like when I play games that I
Uh,
used to love, Heroes of Might and Magic 3, Command and Conquer, I every single time get comments of people who are like, "Whoa, finally a girl playing this game. I didn't know it was possible." And then I'm like, they mean it like somehow positive, but it's not.
I you can't see it, but
And
I'm
in the
like
beginning,
shaking my head. Like, ay, ay,
yeah,
ay.
I wanted to explain like it's not always positive to or even worse are the people that come into your stream and then say, "Oh my god, finally a girl playing a game with her shirt on." And I'm like, don't be mean about other women and
Yeah.
giving me value like in a comparison. I have a lot of respect for also the streamers that does show a lot of boob. Why would they mean less than I do? Why do
Mm-hmm.
people feel the need to say that? And that's again the dehumanizing of
Yeah.
streamers, I guess. And
Mm-hmm.
that's yeah, the dark side of being a streamer.
Oh man. Yeah, people can suck sometimes.
Yeah.
Uh,
But it's so much more fun than it sucks because oh, I've had the sweetest comments ever. I had people being so positive about me, about the community, about the stream, about the content, about the gameplay. It's like if it was mostly the dark stuff, I wouldn't do it.
yeah.
So we give a lot of time to talk about it and I think it's important, but I also do want to say it is also great and
Yeah.
very good and positive. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Before we switch gears, Wale had
Mhm.
a question in the chat saying, when first getting into streaming, at what time of day do you recommend streaming and for how long at a time?
Whenever you want, how long you want.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah. And again, other people will tell you like certain things, but it's about you having fun and you creating content that you want to create. And I know streamers that got really big on streaming 2 hours a day in the evening. And I know streamers that got big, well, they stream 10 hours a day every single day, every time they had the ability to go live.
Yeah.
And I know streamers that are never going to make it, or well, hopefully they do. But I mean streamers that have tried for a really long time to get bigger,
Mm-hmm.
streaming long time, streaming in the evening, in the morning, streaming short times, and they don't get the views. So yeah, I think the most important thing when you stream, when you start streaming, or when you are streaming, is do what makes you happy because it's not a guarantee that anything will work out. So you should always focus on having fun yourself because otherwise it will be a really hard journey. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Um, Yeah, so we can switch gears to talk about the other side. You have the streaming side, and then you have
Mhm.
your part-time job, and yeah, the other side of the streaming world, especially on Lurkit.
Mhm.
Are publishers that we work with, and there's the content creators, of course. So, can you tell
Yeah.
us about your job and what you do?
Yeah, that's funny because I um I started with influencer management in a previous job as well, where I reached out to a lot of content creators and talk about the products we were making. And I really loved the interaction with streamers and getting to know other streamers better and helping them grow in multiple ways. So that was great. And then I got this new job at a Dutch game publisher. I'm Dutch, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And they were also looking for an influencer manager. And I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm now making sure that streamers are playing our games, or at least enabling it. I'm not making sure people do that, but like we give the opportunity to give keys, and I'm the contact person for these kind of things
Mm-hmm.
within the company. And it's really interesting because we have a really broad company with like we have like some horror games, we have puzzle games, we have or a recent hit, Strange Horticulture, which a lot of people love and play. And we have like really strategic space games, and yeah, it's a really interesting broad. We have the King of Retail that is like a store simulator game. So it's a really broad spectrum of games. Which is nice because that allows me to meet streamers from all kinds of genres and interest. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So when you do approach streamers, or you're
hmm
thinking, what streamer should we work with? Can you tell us a little bit of what goes through your mind and what you're actually looking for? Because as a streamer, yeah, what are
Yeah.
those influencer marketers thinking about? How can I be one of the people they're looking for?
Mhm. Um, well, first of all, I will tell you a little bit how I do it on Lurkit, because
Mm-hmm.
on Lurkit we have some campaigns running as well. And on Lurkit, I really look at the people applying. First of all, everybody that applies to every single of my games, I distrust a little bit because there's such a big variety in game genres. So I will look at their channel and see how variety they are and
Mm-hmm.
how broad their genres are to see if it works. But most of the times it's yeah. I don't know. I like it when people specifically request a game and I look at their channel and I'm like, yeah, that seems like a great fit. Like some similar games, we have some narrative games. So if I see people that are really playing narrative games. I also allow sometimes people from the wait list that are actually having lower viewership than we initially planned on
Mm-hmm.
giving keys to, because I'm like, yeah, but this would be a great match. And I just, I want to help out a little bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mostly look at people that would be a great fit. And then every now and then, if I see that a streamer is a lot of variety, I also take the guess like, okay, let's try to give them a different kind of game than they usually play, but let's see if it works. Um, yeah, for all the Lurkit streamers, submit content because I
Yes.
do look at who actually plays the game, of course. And if you keep requesting keys but you don't play the game, it's going to end at a certain time. And I understand that you sometimes, request more keys than you currently can play.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I do look at who actually plays the games because I'm not going to give out keys forever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and that's also I get a lot of emails at the publisher, so that's like outside of Lurkit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there I just look at how is your email? Are you writing a personal email? Did you look at the game you're requesting? I get a lot of requests of like, hey, I want to play your game on stream. This is my Twitch. Mm, small chance that that works. I want to know why you want to play the game. Why should I give you a free key? Like, what? Say
Okay.
something about the game. Show
Mm-hmm.
me that you want it. And then of course I look at the channel, and sometimes I get requests from people that only play League of Legends, and I just don't understand why they want the game. So
Mm-hmm.
those people often don't get the game because I mean I will look at your channel and see what other games you play and if we're a great fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a little bit about that. If we're talking about partnerships and these kind of things, I think for streamers it's also interesting to know a little bit more about partnerships in general. I'm, for example, a Cooler Master partner,
Mm-hmm.
Cooler Master Benelux, that is. Um, I emailed them like multiple times. I love Cooler Master products. I'm a huge fan. So when I was a small streamer before I got partner, like when I averaged like 30, 40 viewers, well, small streamer is not really the word for that anymore, but still, that's when I, for the first time, emailed Cooler Master and was like, hey, I really love your products. I'm a streamer. Let's talk. And they were like, well, maybe later.
But they
So a few
replied?
months later, yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
they were, and a few months later, I emailed them again, and I was like, hey, how are you doing? And we started talking, and I love Cooler Master, so I would never be a partner of a product I don't genuinely love, because what we already talked about, you're, as a streamer, you're really close to yourself, so you should find products that are really close to yourself, because you're basically using your own identity to promote this.
Mhm.
And that's why I just, continued emailing Cooler Master, because I thought we would be a great fit. And now
Cool.
we're partners. So I'm not sure if stalking is the answer, but continue to email and also make it personal. So yeah,
Yeah.
that really worked for me with them. And I still email a lot of other company. Well, not a lot. I should do this more. But I sometimes email other companies that whose products I already use.
Mhm.
Um, to reach out to them and just start a conversation. And maybe it's not now, but maybe in 5 years. I don't know how big they want the streamers to be to partner with, but
Mhm.
as long as they see that I keep trying, they at least know that I'm interested and I really love their product.
Yeah.
At the same time, I get a lot of emails from companies that want to have me do talks or something, and when I don't feel okay with a company, I won't do it, because again, it's your name that you put there.
Mhm.
And I get a lot of people that say, we have a great affiliate a great affiliate program.
Mhm.
You just buy this, and every time people use your code, you get so much percentage of what
Yeah.
they make in money. And unless I would be a super big fan of one of these companies, I would never do this, because you're just promoting things for free. And you should, as a streamer, always know that you're worth more than nothing,
Mhm.
because these affiliate programs, they make so much money on getting those links on every website. And as a streamer, you should at least get a little bit for putting your name there.
Yeah.
So yeah. That
Cool.
that is just, I see a lot of people with affiliate codes and stuff, and sometimes I hear that they actually had to pay themselves for the item that they show to try to sell other items, and I'm like, that's not how a partnership should be.
Yeah.
That isn't, what you should do. It should
Mhm.
be
Mhm.
respect from both sides.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you have the advantage of, because you're an influencer,
Mhm.
marketer, and you're in that field, you kind of can put yourself in the mindset of the other side when you're approaching. So, what are some do's and don'ts when, for a streamer to be dealing with an influencer marketer or publishers or partnerships? Just quick
Mhm.
do's and don'ts you can think of.
Um, First of all, put your business email in your Twitter, your YouTube, your about section on Twitch. Because I browse Twitch to see who should be interesting for games. And then I find like a great streamer, and then they never put their email address out there. And I'm like, how can I reach you?
Yeah.
So the other day, I sometimes DM when I think, yeah, this is just such a big loss if we don't give this guy a key, because I know he will love the game, and it already makes me happy that they will be happy with the game, and
Hmm.
plus I think their audience will love it, and we might make some sales of it, and then I can't find an email address. And
Oh
DMs on
no.
Twitch are not for promotional thing. So
Yeah.
cold outreach is not something I want to do, especially not as a Twitch partner, because I don't want to, lose
Hmm.
that thing. The other day, I actually wrote in someone's chat. I was hanging out with them for a little bit in their stream. And then I said, like, hey, I'm so sorry to do this while you're live, but could you send me your business email? Because I also work for a publisher and I think you would love one of our games.
Mm-hmm.
So I do sometimes do that. But yeah, it's put your email out there. Second, I do is I sometimes go to channels like yeah, content creator groups and just look for people that are really active, and I post sometimes games that we have there, and let them know if they DM me they could get a key if they have a certain amount of viewers. We of course have this partnership with Iceberg and Lurkit that we use the platform and have key requests on there, so that's also a nice introduction to people.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, and other than that, I just look at positive people. But that's also my own view. I just look at people who put in the work and are kind or nice or really enjoy the game and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I also that might be interesting as well. We keep track within the company. I keep track of who plays our games. And if one of your videos on YouTube or if you have a big audience on Twitch, you're on my radar after that. So that doesn't work, of course, if you only have one game. But for us, we're a publisher, we have multiple game releases a year. If you want to be on my radar, maybe you should just, buy a few of the games and start playing. And eventually I might reach out to you or you reach out to me. But that's also something that you should be in the scene that you want to be in. The same with Cooler Master. I was already hyping up their products because I genuinely loved them before we got partners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. A question from Kimi Mode. Do you look at
Mhm.
saved VODs for those keys as well, or just the recently played games when you look at their channel? And what do you think about saving VODs when it comes to being an influencer manager?
I don't look much at saved thoughts. I do look at clips and recent streams because I also look for similar games and look at what kind of people played those games. And I use Sully Gnome, which is a website with a lot of statistics. So I would, if we have a strategic game, I will look for some recent strategic games and see who played those and are they variety. If they're variety, I will look at their channel, check if they don't have like chatbots and stuff, because there's also, unfortunately,
Big
fake views
problem.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Fake
um,
entire channels.
yeah, yeah. So, what I would recommend is saved VODs do show up under the games. I don't normally save VODs myself, but clips also, are there. I do also look at YouTube, for example. So if you have a nice playthrough of a game and you do variety games, maybe put those also in YouTube so you show up on multiple places. Yeah, but clips definitely help with seeing what kind of games people play, because if you look at the game and there's no one live, they will show some clips and old videos of who used to play that or who have played that. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good point. Um,
Mhm.
let's see. Do you have any like tips for landing partnerships? I mean, you said earlier just uh to be enthusiastic about the product,
Mm.
to be yourself, and I'm trying to think all of the good tips. Um, to put effort into the email, right? Not just like, hey,
Yeah.
I want a free game.
Yeah, yeah, just like why would I give you a free game? Uh
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and with partnerships that's even a step further because you do something for like a long-term thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it's just really really important that you just like when you do a job interview, you write, this is why I think I'm a great fit for the company and this is why I think you guys are a great fit for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be really 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 short. For example, Strange Horticulture, I got emails of people like, hey, I recently played Potion Craft. I love that game. I think it might have similarities to Strange Horticulture. I'd love to try that game as well. It's one sentence,
Mm-hmm.
but it showed like, oh, they have interest. They know what they're talking about, and they want to give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Also,
awesome.
always, put your Twitch link or your YouTube link in these emails. I so often have to like write back like, "Hey, cool. What's your Twitch name?" And they're like, "Oh no, I forgot." Yeah, try to put that there. And indeed, Kimmy, put your email in your about section or at least on your Twitter, but like
Hmm.
put it somewhere. Yeah. Also for me, if I get an email from you or from anyone, I check their Twitch, their YouTube, their Twitter to check if this is indeed the same person because unfortunately we get a lot of spam.
Hmm.
Um, and that's really nice about Lurkit, for example, is you need to log in with your Twitch and YouTube so that that is already like checked. Yeah.
Yeah, and even then, for some behind the scenes, we do suspend like a lot of accounts because unfortunately, there are a lot of accounts that just get that buy views and buy subscribers, and then all of a sudden they're requesting keys. So
Yeah.
we're going in, we're banning people. I'm doing like investigative work, looking at Twitch and going through VODs and seeing like the data of how many followers over time, and like, is this a bot account or not? And
Oh,
so,
yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
yeah.
It's especially I once was in a stream of a streamer that was having such a great vibe. I loved it. But his whole chat was, "Streamer, what's this music?" Well, there wasn't music. And like, "Streamer, when are you gonna play Pokemon?" But he was playing like a really different kind of game. And you just knew that they were fake messages. And
Wow.
that made me not wanting to chat with him. So actually all those fake, yeah, views and chats can also hurt your channel a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can wrap up because it has been an hour now, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to put
Yeah,
them in
let
the
me know.
chat. Yeah, and if while we wait for maybe some questions, if there's any pro tips for new streamers trying to get affiliate or partnered, or just in general, like tips for streamers that you think would be good takeaways for this.
Have fun. Yeah, I know it's really stupid to say, but the most important thing is to have fun. I try to do the perfect picture for a while, playing the games that should reach the most viewers, to try to really push myself to the times that works best for my channel and stuff like that. And it kind of made me unhappy. And in that sense, long term, it would make really bad content. So yeah, just have fun. As long as you have fun, do it. And know that even I am in like the top 1% of Twitch or something. So that does show that a lot of people, won't make it. Like I am in the top 1% and can do it full time. I do this because it's fun. And as long as I can make money with this enough to work part-time instead of full-time, I will do it, and if I one day don't get any money anymore, I will probably go back to doing this as a hobby for like a few hours a week outside of my full-time job. um but yeah, it is really important to have fun, because otherwise you will completely drain yourself. And what I've learned from the Twitch streamers that did go into like burnout and those things is that they only pushed numbers and pushed finances and pushed those kind of things, and they lost the part where they had fun. And then yeah, it just doesn't get great. So if you're still starting, just keep it fun. Try to have as much fun as you can, and try to keep that way for as long as possible. Yeah.
Got you, got you. Kimmy Mode says, where would you find an influencer manager? Like in any company, or where would she find you, Fee, for example? Is there a website? That's
For
a good question.
me, you just you would email the PR at gamepublisher.com. So most of the times you just email the PR uh,
Mm-hmm.
people, and they will, because this is PR. I am also doing like press.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also the press manager. Most of the times, the influencer manager is within the PR section of the company. So if you email a game publisher, I recently emailed a game publisher because I wanted to play their game, and by being an influencer manager, I learned I can just ask for the game instead of buying it sometimes. They ignored me, but then I reached out to them on Twitter, and they sent me a key. So it's also just look for places, try things.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just don't go into the Discord of the publisher and email every single
Oh my God.
person that you see as an employee with your question, because they will share it on the company Slack, and they will be slightly annoyed if you send the same message to like all 8 people that are
Oh,
tagged as an employee at a company.
yeah, that's
I
true.
might not say, I might should not say this, but it is true. People do that. It
Yeah, of
doesn't work.
course. That's a
Yeah.
terrible
Yeah.
idea. But
Yeah.
yeah, as you said, usually companies will have a PR at and then whatever the company is that the managers will look over. So that's a safe
Or
bet.
just the info ad, because
Yeah,
our info ad will be sent towards PR if it seems interesting.
yeah,
So yeah.
exactly. And a lot of the time, the influencer managers are hunting too. So they'll
Yeah.
find you. If you put yourself out there and make some noise in their community, they will find you because that's their job
Yeah.
is to be looking for this.
And that is with like, if you want free games, these kind of platforms like Lurkit are just great because they make it so easy for you to say like, "Hey, I want your game. Can I have it?" And it's just one click away. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Isa said, "Will there ever be a VOD format for the stage event? Future ones. I had to step away and miss some great parts." Yeah, this is being recorded. I have
We
uploaded.
speak.
Huh?
It's recorded as we speak. Sorry.
As
That
yes,
just sounded cool.
as we speak. So I will get to uploading this on the Lurkit YouTube channel. I've uploaded the first one. I'm in the process of finalizing the last stage event, and yeah, when I can, I will get to putting this one online. And this time, I remembered to record the Discord chat so that there's something along with the audio. Because it's a little
Oh,
bit awkward when you just hear stuff and we're making references to chat, and then there's nothing to see. So yeah, I'm
yeah.
learning myself and improving these as we go.
Nice, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
one day maybe you can even do it with video. But this is also
yes.
nice. It's really nice and cozy to just talk about these things, and not having to think about the setting and looks for a
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a great streamer tip as well. I can't believe that we haven't talked about this. Do
What
we
is
still
it?
have time?
We have as much
Yeah.
time as you want to have.
Yeah.
Go
It
for it.
is for me, I have to credit my brother.
Uh-huh.
My brother has pushed so many upgrades through my stream. Like, he would look at my stream and be like, "Viev, woman, get a camera that works." And I got one, and it works. And he was like, "Get a mic that doesn't constantly clip and sounds horrible."
Oh
So
man.
I did. And then he was like, "Get Philips Hue lights because your background's so boring." And I was like, "No, my background's fine." And I now have Philips Hue lights, and I love them. It's so much better, you know? And the same with the Stream Deck. It should be one of the first things you buy. It's like not necessarily a Stream Deck, but like something to just click a button or have hotkeys. That's
Mm-hmm.
also a thing in OBS to have things change. It will make your stream much professional, more professional
Mm-hmm.
with yeah, it works. And if I look at the clips from when I started streaming,
Mm-hmm.
that's I personally wouldn't watch that content. I wouldn't.
Wow.
Luckily there were people, but sometimes people make fun about how bad the mic was, or how bad I for a while had a webcam that constantly like resumed. So every time I moved, it would like zoom out and zoom in again.
Mm-hmm.
It is horrendous. But luckily people, apparently enjoyed the conversation so much they stayed for it. But like, yeah,
Nice.
And that's what I said. The first few years of streaming is a lot of investing, but you don't have to do it all yourself. You can set goals. I had a lot of donation goals in the start of my streaming career with like getting a new mic, getting better lights, getting a better camera, and I did it step by step. So the first camera that I upgraded was a normal Logitech webcam, and now I
Hmm.
have like a good Sony camera, which is like yeah,
Good stuff.
crazy more expensive than a webcam, but the quality is also
The
much
quality
better.
is very nice. Yes.
Yeah, and getting like from going to hope that the lamp would stay in the right position, even though that little head would constantly fall down during the stream, and I
Oh
had to
no.
put it back. Go to like Elgato key lights. Like my God, they changed how I look on stream. You know,
Hmm.
so it takes time, but really think about which improvements you want for your stream. Yeah.
Wow. Shout out to the brother for pushing you in that in the right
Yeah, and it's
direction.
stupid because he still does it, and every single time, it's in hindsight that I thank him.
He's
And
always
now I
right.
should know I shouldn't push that. Yeah, but I'm a little bit like I don't wanna I don't
Hmm.
we all have only that much money to spend,
Of
and
course.
am I going, to a nice event this weekend, or
Yeah.
will I stay inside and get that new lamp, you know?
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
like decisions you have to make, and for me, that was completely worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, next time, I mean, if you want some friendly uh sibling banter, if it's so easy, brother, why don't you just start streaming yourself? And
Well, actually, funny story, my brother has, like, almost the same setup as I do,
uh-huh.
because he is just really interested in it. He just doesn't wanna stream, he uses it for his meetings. And he's like,
Professional
"I always do
meetings.
best in every single meeting."
That's so funny.
He has, like, the same camera. He had the camera first. He had this camera just to do his meetings,
Wow.
and an Elgato key light,
He was
and
looking real good
then
in those
I was
meetings.
like, "Oh, damn, it really looks good. I should get that." So, yeah,
So
he's
funny.
just a little bit of a tech nerd, and I should have listened to him sooner because
That's
he was
funny.
right. Yeah.
Oh man, this was so much fun, Fee. Thank you so much for
Mhm.
stopping by, and thank you all for dropping by and listening. This will
Yeah,
be
thank
posted
you.
at some point online for those who missed it, so no worries. Um,
Yeah.
if you want, in the chat, go ahead and link, or I can link it because I have it up. Your socials and everything that you want us to check out. That
My
is,
socials.
yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can follow me if you want.
Yeah,
I'm
go
really
for it.
good at marketing my own channel. I always feel awkward about those things, but yeah,
No,
feel free
you're
to
literally
join
on
me.
the stage, right? So
Yeah.
you know,
Wait, then I'm also gonna link my YouTube
you link
because I
everything.
put a lot
Yes,
of effort in this, but I don't have that many viewers, so that's my
that's
YouTube.
fine too. Yeah,
Oh,
and if
and I should also do my
hmm
Twitter then.
yeah, of course, your Twitter.
Oh yeah,
That can
and
be
then my
another talk.
TikTok now. I
Your
don't have time to
yes.
find my TikTok. You guys will find it one day because I will just show up on your For You page,
You
hopefully.
need to have the link tree. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are very
No,
helpful.
you shouldn't because link trees are not actually that good.
Oh no, I don't
Because
know enough.
you should make as a streamer a link tree is another step people have to make. So
Hmm.
it's actually better to just have your Twitch there and on your Twitch all the other socials, for example in your Twitter bio,
Oh yes,
because you want to make as little steps
there's a little
for people
friction.
to
Yeah.
find your Twitch. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good pro tip then. See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
699 followers. Nice. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Cool.
Really appreciate it. And also feel free to always, DM me with some questions if you have. I actually get quite a lot of DMs from random streamers with specific questions.
Hmm.
Um, I don't always have time for these, but if I have time, I love to, reply to them. So please feel free to always reach out to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And if you check out my stream, um, just know I'm super variety. So if you don't like it the first time, maybe try another stream because I'll probably play a different game and maybe you'll like that.
They're
Yeah.
all fun though. I've passed by um, handful of times, and it's always a good time. So, highly recommend
Yeah,
you guys check her
that's
out.
funny because you always entered in, like, super weird moments, but then again, I was thinking about it, and then I was like, "Yeah, okay, fair point. We so often have weird moments."
But it's so fun, so it's great.
Yeah,
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 awesome. We have to do this again, and thanks again for your time. And
yeah.
yeah, see you.
Thank you all for listening. Yeah, have a nice day,
Yeah, you as
evening.
well. Have a nice day,
Yeah,
everyone. Bye.
bye.